So here we are around Silverstone to do the 25% race, testing how this new system works on new patch. So obviously something that I notice off the start, and obviously it's quiet now, is that the force feedback, it doesn't work. It doesn't work like straight off. I have to pause like that, so that's why I had to pause. Now it works completely fine. If you hear any clicking in the video, that's me shifting. I've got a new wheel. I've got the Motor 9 now, and obviously compared to my Fanatec, as you may have remembered in a couple of my last videos, you know, the magnetic shifters are very audible. They've got a lot more travel into it compared to my Fanatec. Hopefully you won't be able to hear any clunking now because I've got a direct drive. Obviously comes with sacrifice of the shifters. So yeah, so I think this game has got a lot of potential. Also we're around Silverstone here for the British Grand Prix. So we're on softs, and I believe we're pitting on about lap 6 or something, around the middle of the race. And then we'll change over into medium. So in Hulkenberg's car. We're in Hulkenberg's car for this. Got a racing line on. It's only because I cannot really understand like the braking zones in this game. It's something that I'll probably have to get used to, but it's but then again, I don't play this game like online or anything, so you know, it doesn't really give me an advantage. You know, I just enjoy playing this game. But yeah, just checking everything's in shape. Just make sure it's on hot lap mode for the race start. And oh, hold on, is that an engine failure already? Who's ahead of us? Is that that can't be Sargent? I thought that was an RB there. It's very odd. Well, I haven't really done any races with this new patch. Let's do a start and see how it goes. So you can see now we are off the line, going to turn 1 here, getting a bit twitchy. AI in this game are actually really good, a lot better than I remember. Going into here, oh, getting really close, getting close to that sausage club here, getting close with our teammate Magnussen, keeping it tight through that, using all the curb as we need to, using the overtake as well, on the hanger straight now. I think it's the hanger straight. Twisty areas now, going down the old pitch straight, see if we can go up the inside of Magnussen there. No, so we're gonna take it through it. Overtake is on. There it goes. Going through cops now. Car really sticks to the ground with all of this downforce. Gonna change our ERS to medium. We're a bit low here. Going for maggots and Beckett's there. Car is really it's really responsive. Here we go, and here's Gasly going for a move up the inside. We're going to use a bit of overtake. Going to go round Stowe. Then going for the chicane, and there's a bit of puff of smoke as somebody locked up. Hiccuping there. Now onto the Hamilton straight. You know, all of our ERS. Our engineer telling us the ERS is now enabled. Lift off ever so slightly, going to turn 1. I get a bit twitchy there. I don't know if somebody's having an engine failure, or is there somebody just having a bad day with their brakes. Oh, there's someone on the outside of us. I didn't see that. That was Gasly there, going for a move. Oh, DRS, engage. Going into here now. Seeing if we can make any advantages. kind of lacking on EOS here. Got a bit of a train going. Going to take the inside going into cops. They're going to squeeze Ocon as much as possible. Gasly, sorry. See if we can push him outside. He's really going defensive. He's really attacking us, going through Mackets and Beckets. He's going to get DOS, I think, here. Is he? No, he isn't. He's going to get on the next stretch, I believe. We're losing time to the car ahead. Going to keep pushing. I mean, the handling has been improved. It isn't as response as before. It isn't as nimble, I think the word is. You know, like going into here, I can almost control it. Going into here, especially, you know, I can gradually, like, I can't yank the wheel and expect it to turn. You know, there will be some understeer. And it's a lot more, you know, it's a lot more predictable. It isn't going to be so much subtle as such. AI as well, I don't know if it's probably just me, but the AI seems to have a bit of a jump up as well. So the AI seems to be a lot more, like, you know, defensive and a lot more attacking. So it's, you know, it's one of these things. I think it's a good update as well. You know, when it comes to safety cars and stuff, well, we're going to have to see that. I think, again, I think the AI hasn't been improved when it comes to mistakes. So obviously, as we're going to go there, we're probably going to get track limits in a minute. But yeah, but I think the hour when they make mistakes, especially in the first opening laps, where I think it was Sargent was locking up, like here as well, and that's Bottas going wide. So yeah, just actually on good timing on that. You know, see the AI make mistakes like that. It kind of just adds a lot more to the game. So see if we can get him at, see if we can get Bottas at cops. Use all of our overtake. So we're going to use that overtake button here. If not, it's not the end of the world. This is just a... Didn't even do qualifying for this race, just jumped straight in. And it's... I don't know if that's our MFD picking up something. I don't know if we got any damage on the car. We got DRS. Yeah, it's probably because I went a bit too harsh on the curbs, going from Maggots and Beckets. We go through here and watch Bottas and our teammate there, Ken Magnussen, go battle to battle. This could end in a bit of contact actually. You can see two are absolutely tangling it, and we could actually catch up to these pair. It's just amazing to see the AI actually fight. Go for it. You know, it's amazing to see how the game's evolutionised. Like, I think my first ever F1 game was 2016, and that was when I was on controller, and we got DOS and overtake. But it's just amazing to see how, you know, it's evolutionised. And I remember, oh, they made contact there. I really do like that feature. It's probably not realistic, but when they make contact, like, you get debris or stuff coming off, and that is actually quite nice. Because it adds like a bit of dramatic atmosphere. As we're going for cops there, absolutely chucking it. This is a hell of a race. We haven't really made many overtakes there. getting a DRS now. Just absolutely pushing it. EOS at the moment is abysmal. I'm actually going to turn it off. Let's go through here, going for Stowe. Going wide again. See if we can make a dive bomb. Oh, we're going over the curb there. That's up us a place. Oh, we're blocking this lap. Yeah, so we're up a place now, but we are pitting this lap. I think the last game I actually played was 22. I haven't played this game in quite a while. I mean, to be honest, I think the physics were going to be questionable anyway. I am actually going to tell my engineer to be quiet at this point. But you know, it's very nice, this game. You know, the AI make a lot more mistakes. Because before then, they really robotic. You know, they were getting everything perfect. And you know, if there was any drama, because I did a couple of races. I did like a 50% one when it first came out, around Hungary it was, and you know, you always expect a little bit of drama to happen, and I looked at the race director, and there was only really one accident, and that was between me and an AI driver. It was actually kind of my fault. So, you know, it's great to see, like, you know, there's a lot more AI mistakes, not in collisions, but, you know, in lockups and stuff, that can really add a lot to, like, career mode. So it's very interesting. And as we get away, Bottas ahead of us, obviously we have to give that place up a little bit. So we're going to get out of the pits, struggling for grip. I still want there to be manual, like, you know, you enter the pits manually, but then I see always where the logistical side of it is, because obviously it'd be a bit of a faff, to be honest. Like, I like driving through the pits manually. It's like realistic, you know, you find your own pit box. But I wouldn't see how it would, like, kind of work with double stacking or something. You know, there's a lot of logistical aspects to it. I like the feature. I think as EA and Codemaster, who's developing the game, is going forward, I think they are thinking of solutions, and I think there will be a time and date where we are allowed to drive in the pits. I don't think it'll be anytime soon. But anyway, we're going to be having a battle with Gasly. I'm going to put my overtake onto medium, I think. Going for Stowe here, getting wheel to wheel. Got to push the car. I feel like I can push the car a lot more now, easily. Talking about that, we just locked up there. Cheeky lock up. Getting a bit slidey there as well. A bit greedy with the throttle. You know, I think this game is a good one. I think it's, to be honest, I can't really say about. Oh, that was a good overtake. That is a good overtake. So if I can get a replay of that. But you know, this game is evolutionised, you know, and I think a lot of people, I think, you know, you can't make everyone happy. EA's just taking this game, and this franchise, like, I can't remember when the last year, when EA, I think it was 2020 last year, Codemasters all had rights to it. When EA took over in 21, they actually did a pretty good job at it. obviously, yeah, they've kind of like integrated in their system, so you got like DLCs now. But obviously, I think this game has taken a massive step forward, and it's and you know, I think EA, so obviously they've got the WRC title, and I've got that game, and I love that game. Obviously it is like a controversial game again, obviously it being EA owned. But if you think about them this way, you know, they've been known for their like FIFA games or whatever, so they have really no background in motorsport. Obviously, if I'm wrong, or getting a bit sticky on the throttle there. But yeah, but you see, like, you know, EA have been developing it, and you know, obviously, I think F1 will be one of those games where it will be developed. I think this game will have multiple new updates. Because you remember, I think it was F1 22 when that came out, a lot of people didn't like the physics on it at first. I think they had to do a massive overhaul. And the fact, and I think this game is being treated a bit too harshly. Because it is on a brand new physics like base engine. So I find it a bit, it's a bit harsh that people are like criticising it this early on. You know, I think, to be honest, seeing the new FIA regulation is probably totally unrelated. But seeing the new regulations for 2026, I think that physics model could be, or this physics model could be a good match for it. Because the cars are nimble, they're shorter, they're lighter. And yeah, I think it would be, you know, I think it would be a good match. Now, something that I don't like about the game is the curbing. And that hasn't been really fixed. You can use a lot of the curbs. Well, no, I think, let me rephrase it. The curbing, like, physics on this game are a bit questionable. So we're going to go through Stoa here again. We're going to defend our position. But, like, for example, a lot of the curbing where you think you can go on, oh no, the curbing that you think you can't go on, for example, them sausage curbs there, they would be brutal on you if you did that in real life. But, oh, we're being sandwiched here. Great. Oh, we got front wing damage. Could we limp on? I bet we can. Well, we didn't have much choice. Just gonna take a cheeky overtake on our teammate. But a lot of the curbing that you think you can't take, you can. So like here, you can. If you did that in real life, that would have been a lot more dramatic. But again, curbs that you think you can go on, for example, I think China and Australia or some, where the curbing isn't perfect, where, you know, on the exit, I can't remember what turn it is, but just before like the long straight areas, and we're locking up there. Oh, we're getting a bit, losing it a little bit. But you need to get what I mean by it, because, you know, I think if EA want to stride and make this game like a proper simulation, they've got to get that sorted. You know, I don't think they need to add features to make everyone happy. I think they've just got to develop on the features that they already have. Career mode, I really like what they've done, because I think they've obviously seen, because I think EA as a whole, they have a theme for career-based games. And I like what they've actually done with it, you know, evolutionised it. Because I frequently, I've got on my team, oh no, not my team, I got on my career mode going on. Oh, talking about that, then mate, through goes Adam. Or Hulkenberg, sorry. Jesus Christ, that was a good overtake. Unexpected. But you get what I mean by how they're evolutionising it. This update, obviously, we've seen the AI make mistakes, and I think that's a step forward. Primarily, we've only really seen, you know, like lockups and stuff, where, you know, you lock up and you go on. I would prefer it. There's probably Silverstone's not the best example because of how fast it is, but like spins more often. Spins. Obviously, we haven't really seen a safety car, but then this is only a 25% race. So if it was longer, but we would have seen it. But also, there wasn't many big like collisions in it with the AI. But it's, you know, it's like talking about AI issues. We're gonna, whoa, Jesus Christ, that would probably been very unethical to do and probably downright illegal. Talking about legal, my defensive manoeuvres now will be. But it's, you know, I think it's a game that has issues. What happened with Bottas? Did he have a puncture then? I'm just gonna have a cheeky flashback. Hold on, how do I... Oh, I can't, I've got to use my keyboard. Oh boy. Ah, here we go. Here's Bottas. So what actually happened? He had a puncture, I bet. Does he have any wing damage or anything? Check. Nah, just a puncture. Oh! Yeah, that's that. I think that's my race over then. But I think it's one of those games where EA will be able to evolutionise from, and you know, as a whole, I like this update. You know, there's so much potential for this game. I think a lot of people have been treating it a lot more harshly. I think it's a step up. I wouldn't say it's a big one, but it's a step up, because if I do this, obviously the car acts kind of weird. But a point that I saw on TikTok, there's a direct comparison between F1 and WRC, is that the cars act a lot the same. Obviously there's difference. This is a 700 kilogram downforce pack car, where, you know, a WRC car is probably 1.5 tons and doesn't have downforce. But, you know, like, they were doing the external cam and doing this, the cars were acting very similar. They were quite twitchy, quite nimble, and I think that's something that EA just has in common. And I don't think, I love it, WRC. It's probably one of my favourite like offline games. Then that's with like automobilists and stuff. But but I think, yeah, this game's awesome, and yeah, let's see. When it comes to the new 1.3 patch to F1, I say there's been quite a bit of an improvement from the release version. So first of all, probably the second elephant in the room is the AI. Now, I've seen a lot of complaints about this before the launch and after launch, where the AI, basically they were like robotic. Like I was mentioning in the race, they were practically, you know, like Michael Schumacher's in a way, where they wouldn't make any mistakes. Their wheel-to-wheel battles were predictable. That in racing is not really realistic. Obviously both drivers obviously need to know where they are, and that's where the predictable part comes in. But when it comes to actually making mistakes like locking up into a corner or stuff, I think that was something that was lacking at launch. But EA looks like they have got this controlled. Probably a bit more tuning. Probably, obviously Silverstone wasn't a good example, but hopefully with a bit of tuning, there could be a couple more varieties of mistakes. Obviously, saw Bottas have a puncture during the race. Yeah, going on to EOS control, it's going to be a bit of a controversial one, but I don't think there's been much of an improvement with that. I say it's off listed. I say the AI have a little bit less power when it comes to EOS. Because, for example, in China, they would blitz you down the straight. But I say there's been a subtle improvement, ever so slightly. But again, I was around Silverstone, and to be honest, in F124, I haven't really practiced that track as much. But yeah. Then overall bugs for the game. Now, in my experience of playing 1.3 after the race as well, because I'm recording this on another date, I've had a couple. For example, when I was trying to access the replay from the Silverstone race, I could not actually open it. My PC would crash. Now, that could be a problem on its own, but my PC is 6 months older, and with the specs it has, it shouldn't be doing that. So that's what I think is the game's fault. Now, I could be completely wrong about this, but it could be a issue that EA should look into. Another issue that I had actually post-launch, not post 1.3, is the radio, where, especially if I'm getting warned about for example, track limits or a collision warning, the radio feature would be deactivated. I wouldn't be able to use it for the whole race, no matter if I went on to pause or not. Again, that is quite an inconvenience during the race, because I won't be able to get information. And also, another bug that I've noticed, well, second to us actually, is the runoff. So, for example, when I went off in Hungary during a solo race, I noticed that it was extremely bumpy. Now, I haven't seen onboards of people going off. I think that is completely unrealistic, and the fact that that happens, I think, is concerning, especially in league racing where drivers are more tended to go off the circuit from wheel to wheel battle. And I think if in the case that does happen and said driver goes on, if they catch a nasty bump that in real life isn't there, they could be sent onto a track, ruining multiple people's races. Now, onto the elephant in the room, practically, the handling. Now, post-launch, I was very unhappy about the handling. I understood what esports drivers were saying about it being, being too nimble, the car being too sensitive, too pointy. Now, post 1.3, I'm actually quite impressed with the handling. It's predictable. When I turn a certain way, it will turn the way that I expect it to. And I think F1 have not saved the game to say, but I think they've improved the handling. I think that there will be improvements for time to come. Obviously, this was a patch, so I think some of it was a bit rushed, but obviously people were criticising about the game so much, I think it was really necessary at the point. And I think in the long run, there will be more development into the game for time to come. So, would I recommend getting F124? Now, it's not my view to say, because the last F1 game I played was F122, so I've never had F123. But coming from that, I would recommend it, but I wouldn't recommend it for realistic online simulations, even though they've got a really good background into online multiplayer racing. I would personally use it for, career mode and stuff, because that has been a big improvement, and hopefully I'll be doing a video about that in the coming weeks. Now, a lot of people have said it's not a simulation game. I believe that as well. But I would say that F1 has never been targeted to be a simulator game. I think they want to get that even balance between arcade and realism, because they're not just, for example, they're not like R Factor, to be honest. They are more of a, arcadey type thing, not as like as Forza, but they're trying to get the realism there so they can meet every fan base. So, for example, like 11-year-old with a Xbox controller who plays on the Xbox to an avid sim racer. They want to kind of make both parties happy without changing the game or making the game difficult for one another. And I think that's something that F1 does well. So if you are just only striving for realism and stuff, be my guest, get it if you want. But it's not essential. If you're an avid F1 fan and you just want to have it for the experience, go ahead, buy it. Because even though it's a bit of a steep price tag at, I think it's 50 to 80 pounds, British pounds, I think it's a game that's worth it. And, you know, realistically, unless EA drops a brand new feature for next year, you probably won't be getting a new game until 2026 when the new regulations come in. So yeah, I think it's well worth it. And I think EA have done a semi-good job. I think they've got a lot of improvements to do. But as it is now, I shall see you later. Take care. Bye.